by 36 points. So trying to rebound in every facet of the game here tonight against the Pitt Panthers. And we are set for the opening tip. We are underway, and the Panthers take it. Handoff here for Carlton Carrington. We'll call him Bub for the rest of the night.
He will be referred to as Bub or Little Bub.
Little Bub. Kick into the corner. The shot on the way, and too strong by Austin. Only makes about 31%. Pitt having a lot of trouble making shots, period, aren't they?
They absolutely are. And you hear the boos already as Judah Mintz touches the basketball. A little something against Judah here on this floor already with the zoo.
Be a kick here in the opening seconds. Just getting underway. Syracuse was badly out-rebounded by North Carolina over the weekend, 53-30. And talking with Red Autry, the head coach, he felt like they had to get out of the gate quickly. They didn't do that against Carolina. They got punched right in the face.
And he said that they didn't respond. It's the first time this season that they didn't really come out with that same level of competitive fire that they played with all season long. A good start is important for the Orange here tonight.
Chris Bell has been shooting it well, gets it off to Mintz. Mintz averaging 19 a game, got up in the air, got it downstairs for the slam by Malik Brown.
Great recognition by Judah Mintz as he gets into the painted area, seeing 3 yellow jerseys around him, knowing he was going to have Malik Brown open under the basket.
Among the starters for the Pitt Panthers, one of the 7-footers, Guillermo Diaz-Graham. His brother Jorge, also up around 7 feet. Slamming on the brakes here is Lowe, the 6'3" freshman. Shot off the mark by Diaz-Graham, his first effort tonight.
And you've got a starting freshman backcourt for the 3rd straight game for the Panthers as Ishmael Leggett will come off the bench again after missing the Louisville game with an injury.
Bell will swing it. Starling a pull-up pop, and nothing but net.
And you've got the, of course, sophomore backcourt for the Orange, so it's not as though this is a truly experienced group on either side, but the one guy with experience is the guy with the basketball, Blake Hinson. The Panthers need him to get going early.
Well, he's the top scorer for the Pitt Panthers, one of the top scorers in the conference, number 4 overall at 18 a game. Also 5 rebounds, and can be deadly beyond the 3-point line. Getting inside, Hinson, the 6'7" senior, for his first bucket.
And they wait for the first field goal, not first points, because free throws don't matter to the Zoo. They throw the confetti after the first field goal.
Tell you what, foul shots may matter a lot in this game. They did in the first meeting, which Syracuse won 81-73, and Pitt missed 11 of 24 foul shots.
And Pitt did a great job here getting the basketball in the hands of Hinson, but more importantly, allowing Hinson to see it go through early, and of course the confetti flies from the Zoo. I'm not sure if you want the Zoo throwing confetti, though. That could be dangerous to many of the animals.
Yes, don't feed the animals, whatever you do.
Especially paper.
Exactly. Mintz thought about the 3. He'll take the mid-range. He can't hit it. Hinson with the rebound. And here comes the Pitt Panthers' talented Jaland Lowe, the 6'3" freshman out of Missouri City, Texas. He's a coach's son. And that's going to be a nice tip up and in by Diaz-Graham on the follow.
And the Panthers lead the ACC with over 13 offensive rebounds per game. However, they have not had that level of rebounding in conference play.
Bell, yes sir, a 3-pointer on the money.
That's a mistake. A short closeout against Chris Bell. He can knock down the 3 ball. And he has a little something to say to the front row, the big money seats over here on his way back down the floor.
It's been done before in this building between these two schools.
Oh, we got a lot of history between these two schools.
And we'll show you some of that tonight if you've missed it. The swing by Carrington all the way to Hinson. Got it with a triple.
5 early points for Hinson. Great ball movement. That's what Jeff Capel talked to his team about. They've struggled to shoot the basketball in the first half against North Carolina and against Duke in their last 2 home games. A much better start here tonight.
Blake Hinson, number 2 for Pitt Panthers, foul here. So this will go the other way with 16:35 to go in the first half.
Ball movement, and Bell just able to raise up Austin with his hand down, and then you see the great ball movement for the Panthers. Jaland Lowe attacking the baseline, finding Carrington. Carrington with the extra pass to Hinson, who's able to knock down the 3, and we've got a 7-7 game, which the number 7, of course, is always going to be important with this matchup. Maybe one of the best players to ever put on a Syracuse uniform, wore the number 7 in the NBA.
Hinson stops, kind of forced it up there. Diaz-Graham comes up with it. Austin down the lane will lay it in. Took the hit. He'll be at the line for a three-point play.
Offensive rebound once again for the Panthers. Turns into second chance points. The second time Diaz-Graham is able to come up with the offensive board. This time he drops the dime to Austin, cutting down the paint. He was able to finish through the contact, and opportunity for the and one.
6'7" Austin slicing in. He'll be at the line where he's 77%. Jeff Capel about to go to the bench. Ishmael Leggett, 6'3" junior, to report in. He's actually their leading rebounder.
And he's their smallest guy that they play. Listed as 6'2", but he's not sure he's that tall. When you think about the other guards who are with Lowe, Carrington are even taller, but Leggett is the leading rebounder, 5.8 for the Panthers. And that was one of the concerns with Jeff Capel this summer was, did they have a dominant rebounder? They do not, but they've done it as a committee. One of the reasons why they lead the ACC in rebounding, but they need that to happen in conference play.
Well, they do have 6'11" Federico in the game. He just committed his first foul. So back to Syracuse. Here's Mintz. 19 points per game and batted away. Tight defense, but Syracuse will have it when we come back. 15:55 to go, just underway. Pitt and Syracuse. Big one for both of them tonight. Jerry McNamara was there. Jerry said, coming in here to the Pitt always brings back great memories because Syracuse was the first team to win in this building when it opened up.
It was Syracuse. It was Jerry McNamara and Carmelo Anthony, Hakeem Warwick. That group together was the first team to ever come in here and beat the Panthers in this building. And it was an overtime game. Jerry Mack said the score was like 49-48. He said it was a rock fight.
It was a rock fight.
They got it done.
The great memories in this building between these two schools. Mintz off the window, can't hit it. A lot of great finishes here or at the dome between the two. Leggett shredding everybody, and the reverse. What a beautiful shot there. Ishmael Leggett, the junior, for two.
Great job by Leggett attacking the painted area.
Taylor swishes in a two-pointer.
Confident shot by Justin Taylor. Hasn't shot the basketball nearly as well as the shooter that he is. A very good shooter, but has done everything else for the Orange. Good sign for him to see it go down early.
Hinson throws it away.
Obi, isn't that exactly what Jeff Capel talked to us about, how great Malik Brown was knocking the basketball away when they're trying to feed the center coming up with deflections? Brown as well as Judah Mintz are tied for the lead in the ACC in steals per game.
Starling over the shoulder, and boy, it hung on that iron forever, but would not drop. And Coach Capel was very, very impressed by that. Shot won't go for Hinson.
Another offensive rebound.
And a whistle and a foul, says Ted Valentine. 11-9, the Panthers.
Ishmael Leggett driving it to the rim. The nice sidestep around Judah Mintz to be able to finish on the reverse layup. And on the other end, the help allows Justin Taylor to be able to line it up and knock it down. Another assist for Judah Mintz. And it's been better shooting on this floor than we've seen in the past two games for the Panthers and their opponent to start it off.
Indeed. Zach Austin gives it up. Hinson off the fake. Another fake. Finds the open man. Federico can't dunk it.
Federico looked back to see where the defender was instead of just going up and dunking that, allowing Justin Taylor to affect his shot.
Tough drive and a tougher shot by Judah Mintz.
Judah Mintz will not be denied. He gets downhill as well as anyone in the league. Leads ACC with 137 free throw attempts. So he's going to stay in attack mode the entire game.
Gets to the line. He can be very creative doing it. Carrington can't hit the mark. Judah 33 against LSU, had 28 against Cornell. So he's had some big scoring games. Actually had 21 rather quietly over the weekend against Carolina.
Yeah, everything, it was so loud as to what Carolina was doing in that building. You and I were there. It's hard to notice anything that happened with the Orange.
Syracuse is at every starter score so far. Loose ball on the baseline. But Copeland comes out of it. He had 16 against Carolina. Here's Taylor again. He thought he got fouled on the play, but no whistle.
Of course, he's going to hear that from the zoo. You come into this building, you're always going to have to contend with the Oakland Zoo, and they are locked in early.
Carrington with a swing. Hinson lets fly. And a loose ball into the lane. Puerto Rico again. The effort to save it there by Malik Brown with 13:04 left in the first half. Red Autry, year number 1 as the head coach at Syracuse. He started 116 games for Jim Boeheim in the early 90s. Was Jim's assistant, and now in year 1 replacing the only head coach Syracuse had known for 47 years.
And Red Autry told us prior to the game, his turnaround in his career came in this building. Well, forgive me, not in this building, at Pittsburgh. Didn't play here in this building at the time, but had a big game at Pitt. And that really changed the trajectory of his career during his junior season. A double-double, 31 points, 10 assists for Red.
Now Kyle Cuff coming off the bench, spins in 2. Pitt getting a little chilly here. In keeping with the weather outside, temperatures are in the teens. Lowe to drive it and kick. Austin swings it. Leggett couldn't be more open, took a dribble and sinks it.
And Leggett got himself together, didn't catch it cleanly, but had more than enough time. As you said, couldn't have been more open. Had the time to rhythm dribble and raise up for the 3-ball.
He's off to a nice start scoring it. The junior from Maryland. It's a good sign for Pitt because he was 2 for 10 the first time these schools met. Cuff outside. Under 12 minutes to go in the opening half. J.J. Starling looking to make a move on Leggett and threw it away. The defense locked him up that time and he turned it over.
And celebrated by the bench as Tim O'Toole, Jason Capel, Milan Brown, the assistant coaches celebrate the defensive stop. And Ismail Leggett celebrates the wide open 3 at the top of the key. A strong initiative from Jeff Capel. The Pittsburgh basketball family has been about fighting ALS. Of course, Jeff Capel II was lost to ALS in November of 2017. And it's been an issue for Jeff. And one of the guys who has teamed up with Jeff Capel on the committee to fight ALS is our own Mark Spears, whose father Curtis has been battling ALS for 7 seasons. We see a picture of Mark and his father. Father Curtis holding his Hall of Fame ring when Mark was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And of course, Jeff Capel and Mark together, of course, with a number of other people doing the job and battling ALS.
7 years.
It's a long time.
That's incredible.
It absolutely is. And, you know, Mark talked about how brave his father has been to fight the fight for as long as he has. Man that was 6'2", over 270 pounds, now weighs less than 100 pounds and continues to battle.
It's a wonderful picture there. Great photo of those two. By the way, Syracuse picked up a point during the break. They made that 2 by Taylor a 3, which it should have been, and that one swished in by Lowe. Looked like he had that plan for about 20 seconds.
Yeah, he knew where he was going exactly with that one. And Jaland Lowe better have a good one today because his dad, Marlon, was supposed to leave Houston this morning at 7:20 local time. Didn't leave until after 11:30 a.m. So a late start for him. So made a big effort to be here for his son's game. Jaland better have a good one.
Cuff can't hit. Pitt has opened up a 3-point lead, a little 6-0 run here. And on the line, Carrington's going to turn it over. 17-14.
See Jaland Lowe getting into his bag. Peter Carey with a tough assignment trying to guard Lowe on the perimeter right there. That battle was won by the freshman guard. There's Pops. There's Pops. Marlon looking along, checking it out.
I'll tell you what, it took most of us a long time to travel yesterday and today. The block by Carrington as he stuffs Mintz. Here's Leggett beating everyone to the other end, and he'll draw the foul. Almost made the shot, too. Draws the foul on Benny Williams.
Yeah, you talked about the travel, not just you and I being delayed, but also the Orange. Syracuse had trouble getting in, didn't get in until late, as we see Carrington with the block shot, and then the lead pass out to Leggett, who picks up the foul as an opportunity. Oh, there's going to be a call on the floor.
Syracuse battling bad weather. That's nothing new, but it's the other guy's bad weather that slowed the Orange down last night.
And Obi, now we see Syracuse in the zone. They hadn't played a lot of zone throughout this season, but went to it in this Carolina game.
But as one very confident shooter tonight, Ishmael Leggett, the junior, just sticking it. Well, he was a proven scorer at Rhode Island before coming to the Pitt Panthers.
He absolutely was. And Obi, he missed the only win that the Panthers have in ACC play right now, which they win at Louisville. So you know Ishmael Leggett wants to get a win under his belt.
Cuff will get that one to go. Nice feathery touch. Most of his shots, the majority, are three-pointers. He has outstanding range.
Yeah, absolutely does, showing that he can provide that shooting stroke. And Syracuse oftentimes struggles to be able to get those threes to go from beyond the arc. So Cuff providing that.
Diaz-Graham with a misfire. Talk about getting up there. Carrington going skyward. Here's the jumper by Lowe. That won't drop.
And another offensive rebound. Jeffers getting involved in the mix.
And takes the hit and the foul against Syracuse.
2 offensive rebounds on that possession alone. And Benny Williams is going to pick up his second foul. Guillermo Diaz-Graham unable to knock that one down, but look at Bub Carrington going way up high for the first offensive rebound. And then Jeffers getting involved for another one as Williams sits with those 2 fouls early for him. Seems as though he just checked into the game, unable to get going.
It's 5 team fouls for Syracuse with 9:20 to go in the half. Lowe trying to make a move. Hinson
didn't catch that cleanly. That was going up.
Diaz-Graham on the back down. Couldn't find anybody. Finally does off the fake. Carrington too strong. Another loose ball comes free to the Orange. Syracuse last year 17 wins, swished in. Nice touch there by Starling. No NCAA tournament for the last 2 years for the Orange. Trying to change that around under the new coach Red Autry. And this one a very important game on the road in the conference for Syracuse tonight. And that'll go against the Pitt Panthers.
Obi, I never got a chance to ask you. You and I did the game on Saturday. And I've never asked you, what's it like calling a game with your alma mater, the Syracuse Orange, with no Jim Boeheim on the sideline? Was that your first one? First time you've done that?
Yes. And it's very strange.
And it goes back to when you were a student at Newhouse at Syracuse University. You were calling games then.
That's right. So incredibly intimidated by Jim as like a 20-year-old kid. But not to see him on that sideline. It took all day to figure out, what am I looking at?
I can only imagine.
Hinson.
The Panthers, as in their previous 2 games here on this floor against North Carolina and against Duke, have gotten a number of good looks from 3 to start this game. Started out a little bit cold thus far.
Bell up top for Judah Mintz. Judah looking for room to operate in the paint, and a whistle and a foul with exactly 8 minutes left in the half. We came on the air talking about both of these teams' difficulty shooting the 3-point shot. It is true, but Pitt has made 4 out of 10 from 3-point distance, and they cling to a 1-point lead as we have a timeout. Pitt on top. Ennis, 2 seconds. He'll get a shot off on the way. Got it! He hit it! He hit the shot! Syracuse wins it!
I know that voice. There's only one guy with the pipes to make that call. That is the notorious D.O.B. That's my partner, Dave O'Brien, on the call.
And that's Jim Boeheim. Look at that. And Tyler Ennis with a magical moment right on this floor. Hard to believe that was 10 years ago, partner.
It was 10 years ago. It was the first year of Syracuse in the ACC. They started that season 25-0. Nice. And we talked with, of course, Red Autry and Jerry McNamara. We talked to them about their most important memories as a coach. And they both mentioned that moment, Tyler Ennis with that big shot right in front of you here on this floor.
It's incredible the memories they have. I know I certainly do. That's a tough shot in traffic by Copeland, gets it to go.
And Copeland was ACC Player of the Week after a strong performance, a career high performance against Pittsburgh in that first win, so he's looking to have success here once again. Comes up with the steal.
Knocking that free. Hinson got down and dirty for it. Here's Austin outside the three. Shot clock down to 6 here for Pitt. Hinson with the touch, a fall away. Left that one short. He got off to a quick start. He has chilled out a little bit, and a foul committed right here. So he'll pick it up. His first, 21-20 Syracuse. I should mention I was alongside another great partner that night when Ennis hit that magical shot, and that was Doris Burke. And it was a night very much like tonight in Pittsburgh. It was wintry, incredibly cold. It was really snowing that night. And we had a game, I think, the very next day at Villanova, which we wound up driving to.
DB and DOB. That's the A team right there, man.
Great deal of fun, I'll tell you. And swished in by Chris Bell on the pull-up pop.
Syracuse extending the lead to 3. And it's been a low-scoring affair thus far for both these teams. But we were kind of expecting this to be more of a battle. Both these coaches have talked about how their teams need to be tougher, both physically and mentally throughout this game.
No basket there. Foul before that on the entry to Guillermo Diaz-Graham. And they get Starling for the personal with 6:35 to go in the opening half. And Pitt to inbound from the baseline. Pitt, including that 81-73 loss at Syracuse on December 30. Now 1-4 in the conference, also beaten by Clemson, North Carolina, and Duke. Both head coaches have taken on North Carolina and consider the Tar Heels the class of the ACC right now. But Duke right in there. Speaking again, right in there, Jeffress with the basket.
Yeah, both head coaches have taken on both North Carolina and Duke thus far, and it was split. They were talking about, hey, what's the difference between those two teams? But right now, it's really been the physical toughness and maturity of North Carolina that's kind of taken them over the top, where they may give them an edge as the best team in the ACC. But it's close because of the way Duke can shoot the basketball. They have said, Duke had a unreal first half here against Pittsburgh. They had an unreal second half against Syracuse. You called that game. They were 8 for 8 in the second half from 3.
It was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so they both have seen the strengths and weaknesses of both those teams. Jeff Capel talked to us about how physical and tough North Carolina was when they came into this building.
Playing defense, the Tar Heels, and they are deep. They're getting a lot of bench. Over the top from Malik Brown. Here's Starling. Off his feet is Mintz. Shot clock down to 3. And thrown away. And a deflection with 5:50 to go. And Syracuse to inbound. Got to get it up. 2 seconds to shoot it. Copeland sees it, fires, and hits it. He knocks back a 3.
That's a big bucket by Copeland. Jeff Capel told us Copeland hadn't hit a 3 on the season. It didn't seem like he had until he played against Pittsburgh, and then of course all of a sudden he knocks down a 4-point play in that game, and his confidence has been sky high ever since.
Like putting that shoulder down, got too far underneath. Jumper on the way for Carrington. No. Both teams getting a little bit cold after pretty quick starts. Copeland on the baseline. Jeffress really bottling him up. He knocked it out. So it'll be SU ball. 5:10 in the half. And Kyle Cuff back on now for Syracuse.
Only 3.3 on the shot clock. Copeland recognizing it, raises up over top of leg, is able to knock down the 3 ball. And let the crowd here know, yo, that's good.
Mentioned that last game against Pitt, 22-9.
Look at the 13 of 15 from the free throw line. That is ultra aggressive as Judah Mintz knocks down the 3 ball right in front of the Panthers bench. And Syracuse now extending the lead to 7.
Copeland 5 so far tonight. On the drive, Lowe has that one knocked away and actually lost it. It was off him last. So this ties the largest lead tonight at 7 points. Pitt advancing the NCAA tournament last season for the first time since 2014. Got to the second round of the NCAA tournament.
And that's part of the reason why the expectations were so high for Jeff Capel and this Panthers team this season, but a lot of experience lost from this team a year ago.
Mintz tied up in the corner, a reach, and they've got a foul on the play.
Much younger group for Jeff Capel this year as you go back and look at a season from a year ago, 24-12, a 14-6 record in the ACC. And the 14 ACC wins, the most in program history. Jeff Capel was named the ACC Coach of the Year because of their exploits a season ago.
6th team foul. So both sides with 6. Brown will kick it out. Cuff. And just a little short. Got a good look. Pitt trying to cut into this deficit. On the spin move. Inside. Jeffers will finish that.
Nice cut by Jeffers to be able to get to the basket and finish it off. He had a career-high 10 rebounds in that game against Syracuse. So Will Jeffers doing a great job of giving Jeff Capel minutes off the bench.
Copeland finds the lane. Little finger roll, no. Austin high up for the rebound. Like it's going to push it. No whistle. And wound up throwing it away. Copeland. Big fast break. And the slam by Chris Bell. And a timeout with 3:26 left in the half. Syracuse with the big dunk.
Both coaches talked about they need to take care of the basketball, cannot allow other teams to get out in transition like this.
Sean's point, Hinson now 2 for 8 from the field. Now the AP top 10 at the moment: UConn, Purdue, Kansas, North Carolina up to number 4, Duke up to number 7 out of the ACC.
Amazing to me that Kansas didn't move. When you consider the fact they went and lost at UCF again. Shocking that they didn't move at all, but good to see North Carolina in the top 5. But also great to hear Seth Greenberg talking about staying at a lot of Bee Gees. I can see Seth with hair back in the day dancing to Bee Gees. I kind of feel like,
he was a Bee Gees guy. It's just Saturday Night Live all the way, bell bottoms and everything. Carrington slamming on the brakes. Hinson wants to launch. He stays chilly. One tip for the corner. It'll go the other way. Syracuse ball here with 3 minutes left in the half. And Q's trying to build on this lead of 31-24.
7 offensive rebounds already for the Panthers, but they haven't been able to convert many of them into second chance points.
Quadir Copeland very much the star. The first go around for Syracuse against Pitt.
Now the Panthers using their zone against the Orange. Got to be able to identify where Cuff is, especially when you're guarding Syracuse. He's the one dangerous guy.
Open shooter. Boy, did they move it beautifully for Bell, and he drills it.
Forgive me, one of the 2 dangerous guys. I didn't see Bell. He was blocked out over there on the side on the floor, but we know he could be a knockdown 3-point shooter.
Yeah, hit 25 against Colgate, 20 against LSU, 19 against Cornell. He can get it done. Carrington calling out a play. Federico up to set the screen. He gets downstairs and the pass just doesn't get there. It's going to be off of Syracuse. Bell, by the way, with 10 points. He's hit his last 4 shots. So the bell is tolling here tonight in Pittsburgh, PA.
We're going to have a shot clock violation because that pass from Bub Carrington to Federico actually hit the rim. So we get a shot clock reset to 20 as though it's an offensive rebound.
Low back, Carrington will take the shot. Too strong, comes out high. Judah Mintz being very cautious with it. Syracuse up by 10 on the road. Carey with a turnaround. Too strong. And a big rebound by Jeffers.
Yeah, absolutely was. Going up high to get it, and Jeffers in the game to be able to provide defensive rebounding.
Hinson on the attack, will draw the foul. He went in with authority. His outside stuff is not falling, so he decided to go to the 10.
That's the way you get going. You get to the free throw line. When you get to the free throw line, you get an opportunity to work on your shooting form. Get your confidence going back in the right direction.
He's had some big games, 27 against Clemson and 29 against West Virginia. We have two more great college basketball matchups tomorrow night. Number 8 Kentucky hosting Mississippi State at 7 Eastern from Rupp Arena. And the primetime West Coast game has number 12 Arizona hosting USC at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN.
Kentucky with a tough loss over the weekend. One of the other top 10 teams to lose last week. Conference play brings something completely different, however, when you're going up against familiarity.
Tell you what, in that conference, the SEC, Kentucky's conference, you better keep an eye on Auburn.
And it's shocking to me that it's taken so long for many people to recognize. Bruce Pearl's done a great job at Auburn for the last 5 seasons, so I'm not sure why they were so undervalued to start the year. But
like you, I think they're really good. They are really deep and really talented. Got up to number 13 in the poll. The whistle stops the clock at 1:07. So Carey will pick up the personal. And Red Autry going back to his bench. We'll bring Starling back on.
We're seeing Jeff Capel play a lineup that includes the 3 guards with Lowe, Leggett, and Carrington on the floor. So his 2 freshman point guards with the veteran transfer and Leggett.
And Jaland Lowe 79% at the stripe. We'll have another one coming. And Pitt, in terms of field goals, has gone about 2.5 minutes since they've hit one. At the foul line again, 36-26. He makes 1 of 2.
Something to keep an eye on. We mentioned the Panthers 11 of 24 from the free throw line in that loss at Syracuse earlier this year in a game that they held an 11-point lead in the second half. Turnovers and missed free throws did them in.
Inside the final minute before halftime, Mintz can't get it. In transition, Carrington wants to fire. In and out. Boy, that was in the cylinder, and a whistle.
Bob Carrington wondering what else can he do, just putting his hands on his forehead. But it's still a confident shot, especially for a freshman, the youngest player in the ACC, getting out on the break, pulling up in transition, but he will not be deterred. You're talking about a confident young man. And again, if you have a triple-double to start off your career, the first ever game in college basketball, I'd be pretty confident too.
And you're setting the bar pretty high.
You absolutely are setting the bar very high. Only the second freshman, the second player in the ACC history to ever do it in their first ever game to go alongside Dennis Scott, who did it for the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech.
Federico now 17 for 41 at the foul line. 10-point lead. Syracuse trying to go into that locker room with a head of steam. Here's Copeland straight on, and he is hit in the act of shooting a 3.
And Jeff Capel can only turn away after seeing Copeland get fouled on another 3-pointer. He brought up a 3 where Copeland was able to make it and got fouled as a turning point in the game that they played on December 30th. And you see Leggett out contesting, gets the hand, but also does not allow Copeland to be able to land safely. Contact after that as well.
Copeland 74% at the line. Another look.
Yeah, see, it really wasn't as much of the hand as it was not allowing him to land safely on that 3. They got him 3 attempts at the line.
Another one coming. Near Hema, the 6'11" rim protector, into the game for Syracuse. They missed 2 of them. 37-26.
Syracuse back in the zone for what most likely will be this final possession for the Panthers. Only 2 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock.
Carrington off to Leggett. Leggett, shot clock winding down, and he gives it up. Mintz Mintz went airborne. Maybe had a little more time to do something with that, but in the end, Syracuse shoots their way to a 37-26 halftime lead.
A little bit of conversation between Copeland and Leggett going off the floor, but Syracuse with a strong first half here on the road, looking for their first absolutely come back if they can get some shots to fall from beyond the arc.
They figure if that's going to happen, they're going to jump on the back of number 2 there. The Pitt Panthers, Blake Hinson, just 2 for 9 shooting in the first half, 6 points, came in averaging 18 and 5 rebounds. He's got to get going.
He really does have to get going for the Panthers, as does Bub Carrington has to get going as well. As Yama Graham does a great job hedging the screen and roll. Knocks the ball away from Starling. Both players headed this direction. My guy Jim Barber was ready to take the charge over here on the sideline.
That's good because I found a nice spot under the table. There's Starling and swishes that one in from 3-point distance. Syracuse getting going again from beyond the 3, leading 40-26, their largest lead tonight.
And Obi, this is a talented Syracuse team. It's a team that is struggling to find its way at times because they've got a lot of new pieces and, of course, a different style, playing more man-to-man than they have in, I would say, probably the last 47 years. But Red Archery has a talented group that when they get going and they're sharing the basketball, you see they can be successful.
Judah Mintz with the ball, the 6'4" sophomore. And he'll be fouled. Commit foul here with 19:02 to go.
Yeah, they're going to get Malik Brown on the offensive foul on that one. But on the previous possession, you see Judah Mintz with the nice find to Starling, who's wide open, is able to knock down the 3 ball. Judah Mintz sharing the basketball extremely well, diming up his teammates.
Carrington trying to make a move. Get it back up top for Hinson. For Carrington, the shot will not go. The 7-footer will tip it. And a second effort, Austin gives it up, and it's swished in by Hinson.
Offensive rebounding is the best time to shoot the 3 ball. The Panthers had 8 offensive rebounds in the first half that they only turned into 4 second chance points. But Hinson gets 3 on there to make it pay off.
Taylor bouncing for Mintz, wants the paint. Swatted away and a whistle. A foul. I'm going to say on the back of the head by Diaz-Graham. He'll pick up the personal.
And Obi, I clearly didn't do enough research before this game to find out what it was that Judah Mintz did to this crowd, because they clearly do not like him here. Every time he touches the basketball, there's a chant of boo from the Oakland Zoo.
Sometimes when he doesn't even touch it.
Exactly.
He's to the line here. That, by the way, 3 fouls on Guillermo Diaz-Graham. So he's in trouble here. And Mintz at the line, 79%. Gets to the line a lot. And he makes that one. So the big guy is going to have to step out, and another big guy coming on. Federico at 6'11", replacing the 7-footer.
When you say he gets to the line a lot, more than any other player in the ACC, almost plus 40 ahead of Armando Bacot, who's second in the ACC in free throw attempts. Judah Mintz stays at the line.
42-29, the Orange. Austin with the tip and 1. To the foul, too, and he'll be at the line.
Well, never do you want to miss a wide open layup. However, if you're able to get the tip in and the opportunity for the and 1, it's worth it. Austin driving the baseline. The nice skip step to be able to avoid defenders, misses it, but the quick second jump allows him to get the contact from Malik Brown. The putback, the 2 points and an opportunity for 3 at the line.
So Bell stepping out, and so is Malik Brown, who just picked up his 3rd. And Zach Austin to the stripe, a 77% foul shooter. And one of the 3 Pitt bigs Well, he plays big, ranking in the top 15 in the ACC in block shots.
Yeah, elite blocking shots. The first person since Shane Battier 20 years ago to have back-to-back seasons with 60 three-point field goals made and 60 block shots.
Starling nice giving the lane. Carey can't finish it. He's back in the game with 3 fouls. Pitt trying to cut in. That would have helped a lot. Federico keeps it going.
Another offensive rebound.
Look at Hinson way downtown. Barely got to the iron on that one.
But he had time to take a dribble, a couple more steps in to be able to shoot that at a more reasonable range.
Copeland, great look for Carey. He dribbled down, nothing there. Here's Starling, only 24% beyond the 3. Copeland in heavy traffic, somehow got it back. Now flips it up there and catches a lot of iron, and down he goes, and a foul here against Pitt.
And it's just a small thing, but Federico unable to gather that rebound. And when he doesn't get the basketball, Copeland does and forces Federico to foul him. Once again, great ball movement by the Orange as Copeland is able to attack the basket. Can't get it to go, but as the shot goes up, you see Federico has the basketball in his hands, just unable to grab it, and then compounds the mistake with the foul.
Mintz looking to penetrate, working on Carrington. Taylor finds an opening to his right, but no, they shut him down. Carrington in transition, sweeping in, he's denied. So Syracuse turns the trick on the other end.
That was a great defensive play by J.J. Starling, getting back defensively and being able to deny the opportunity from Carrington without fouling. You talked about Starling being on the floor, 3 fouls for him, and playing through that. Great job defensively without coming up with a foul on that possession and not putting Carrington at the line.
So Pitt with already 3 team fouls.
Forgive me, only 1 foul on Starling. 3 is on Carrington.
Carey getting a lot of minutes here tonight.
Yeah, and he was a guy that really wasn't much in the rotation.
Wasn't that pretty?
That was very pretty by Copeland attacking the basket. And there's something about Quadir Copeland in Pitt.
Yes.
He's confident playing against these Panthers.
Starting to pick up the pace here, and Carey will commit the foul. Trying to slow down William Jeffress. That's good. Syracuse on top of Pitt, 44-32. Judah Mintz coming in 19 points a game. We're talking about why he gets booed here at the Pete every time he touches it.
Obi, you know when you and I do a game, it's interactive. We like to involve the fans.
Indeed.
So I've probably got 30 text messages on my phone from the time I said I didn't do enough research to wonder why they're booing Judah Mintz. However, Judah Mintz graduated from my high school, Oak Hill Academy. He's an Oak Hill alum. I didn't remember the fact that Judah Mintz was committed to Pittsburgh and then decommitted right before the signing day, reopened his recruitment and signed with Syracuse late that year. That is the reason why he is being booed by the Zoo. Shout out to Judah's pops, Conrad Mintz, for being the first to text me and let me know, although many, many others chimed in to remind me.
Well, he has 9 points against Pitt so far tonight. Like you're trying to get in, and another big stop. Syracuse has done it a couple of times on the last few possessions.
Well, Syracuse defense has been stout, especially defending the rim when the Panthers have been trying to attack off the bounce.
Good balance for Syracuse. Bell with 10, Mintz with 9, Copeland is 8, and Starling with 7. Shot clock at 7. Copeland for Taylor. Shot clock down to 2. Starling's got to get it up in the air. Did get to the iron. Copeland went for the save and back over to the Pitt Panthers. They need a run. Nice move with the left hand, up and in by Lowe. Jaland Lowe, the 6'3" freshman.
Jeff Capel wanting the pressure up a little further to see if they can speed up the Orange and get us some turnovers.
Handed off for Starling. Again, the shot clock comes into play at 5 on the drive, and that one's going to be swatted out of the sky by Austin. Zach Austin, 6'7". We talked about his shot blocking capability.
And Judah Mintz attacking the basket, as you mentioned, the shot blocking ability of, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Judah Mintz, so that won't even be a block. It'll be the turnover.
Offensive on Mintz.
Yes, Hinson steps in to take the charge. Red Autry down on the baseline, not happy about that call.
4th team foul. Lowe with a pull-up, got it to go.
Back-to-back buckets from Jaland Lowe, now attacking the basket, and you see the Panthers with the pressure.
Syracuse looking for an answer. Here's Taylor's shot. Yes, sir. He drills the triple.
The second 3 from Justin Taylor in this game. Talking about the fact that he hadn't shot the basketball well, but it seems like everyone from Syracuse is having a little more confidence against these Panthers in the building here tonight.
Low to the paint. Not this time. Williams mishandled it. Loose ball. Syracuse had an opportunity there. Copeland comes away with it. And a tie-up. Possession arrow will take it to the opposite end.
But if you see that picture alone.
This is getting chippy. And the officials now, as they start to get after it, look to separate players. Not the first time tonight we've seen this.
No, and the guys that are involved, we saw having a conversation at halftime on the way to the locker room. Ishmael Leggett and Quadir Copeland, these two guys had words for each other after the halftime buzzer sounded. And you see both of them in the mix of this squirm right here. But we had an overhead look of that shot where Copeland was the one orange jersey on the floor in the midst of 5 different yellow jerseys for the Panthers. But Copeland had the basketball. And this is what Jeff Capel was talking about. They had to be tougher. And you see the toughness from this was Quadir Copeland, the toughest guy on the floor, getting after the basketball, going after it even though he was amongst 4 other yellow jerseys.
Yeah, that time it was Hinson and Copeland exchanging words. That was an amazing shot because Quadir Copeland looked like he was about to be consumed by Panthers.
that could never be fun.
Could not be a lot of fun. But here with 13:37 to go, the officials going to the monitor. I think this is one of the areas where the veteran Ted Valentine really excels, calming down teams. He does an excellent job with his crews of trying to take the starch out of it.
I agree. Bill Covington, Ramey Stein's got a great veteran group on here tonight. Obi, in all honesty, in this game with these two teams, the way this has been played, I would love for them to come away from this and say it's just been a warning to all teams, nothing extra. Because even though tempers flare, it's going to be difficult to determine. Oh, wait, we already saw the technical foul
Ted
Valentine, and I believe it's actually going to be on Benny Williams. I believe Benny Williams will be the one that gets that technical foul. So it won't be what I wish for, but hopefully it doesn't escalate into too many players being penalized because of this.
And they're looking on a monitor for anything additional here. So this could take a little while to sort out. It's been pretty chippy, and they've been going back and forth. There's been some verbal altercations, as we mentioned tonight.
But I mean, you go back, we talked about this. This is a rivalry. You're talking about going way back to the Big East, and you see Hinson standing over top of Quadir Copeland as Benny Williams pushing Hinson from the beginning that gets it inside it. Then Leggett actually grabs Williams to get him out of the mix. Lowe has something to say as temperatures rise, but I think we're okay if we walk away with this saying, hey, Benny Williams gets the technical foul.
Right.
We keep moving on. You take your free throws, and we just keep playing basketball. I think
the offense was, Corey, when Ted Valentine was wrapping up a player, that's when Benny Williams was Hinson. Benny Williams kind of came in and gave him a shove.
Yes, I believe that's where the penalty is. I'm just hoping it doesn't escalate beyond that.
So we know this. Ted Valentine did rule a technical pretty quickly once they started separating players.
And from the angle we saw, it was in the direction of Benny Williams. So most likely that will be the call. The question becomes, will there be anyone else penalized? As Bill Covington will go speak, or Teddy Valentine will actually call in both coaches to have a conversation and let them know what's going on.
Good work by the officials to get to it before it really got out of hand. And so we're hearing definitely a technical.
The Panthers to play Hinson and Syracuse number 13.
They're going to get Williams and Hinson.
And I'm okay with that, simply because Hinson was the one standing over top of Cole.
So no shots here because the technicals will offset. There was a jump ball and a possession arrow. Remember that possession arrow to Pittsburgh.
Gotcha. Thank you to Bill Covington, Ted Valentine, both coming over, communicating with us, letting us know. And I'm good with this, even though I didn't want to see anyone else getting technical fouls. Hinson was standing over top of Copeland, and so therefore I do believe that those two getting involved, the offsetting technical fouls, I think is the right call.
Gotcha. So Pitt with the basketball and trailing 47-36. Hinson with a long jumper. He's had a tough night shooting it, and they've really needed him. We'll see if he catches fire late, but right now it's going Syracuse's way on top 47-36. Hinson 2 for 8 from three-point line, 3 for 12 overall.
And if you include this one, it's been 6 consecutive tough shooting nights for Hinson. With this game involved after coming off a great shooting for the 5 games previous where he was smoking hot.
Shot clock to 5. Mintz getting a look at it. Off the fake, leans in, can't hit it. Now Pitt's got an opening here, trying to cut into this deficit. Carrington off for Hinson. Leggett working on Copeland. Hinson again. He'll drive it. Going in strong. No. So even the layups.
But a great job by the Orange staying vertical. Not fouling when Hinson attacks the basket. Just showing high hand.
Syracuse time and time again here in the second half getting very deep into that shot clock. We're sitting at 9 now. Starling pulls up, sinks it. Very confident looking shot.
He is great in the mid-range. You see J.J. Starling, this is the second time we've seen him go off the bounce, get to the mid-range and raise up. And as you mentioned, he is very confident knocking that down.
Guillermo Diaz-Graham, 7-footer, getting ready to report in. Another one glances away right to Leggett. He'll go in strong. Not there again. So right now Pitt can't buy one from distance or inside. Mintz lost it for a moment. Austin with the rejection. That comes free to Williams, and he will flush it. And a timeout, Pittsburgh. So it's Syracuse coming out of that scrum, and the 2 technicals that offset with extra fire.
Yeah, Austin comes up with a huge block. However, the Panthers can't get the basketball, and Benny Williams gets the highlight. In the correct manner, especially on the road, coming in, getting off to a great start. But more importantly, they have been the aggressor in this game. They've been the tougher team. And that was one of the concerns from Jeff Capel and his inexperienced group. He won't call them young, he'll call them inexperienced to this point because he's got a lot of new guys playing in this system.
Pitt had cut it to 8 points. And Syracuse on a mini 7-0 run to answer. Jeffers will flip it here for Lowe. Lowe finds an opening. Left it short. Came right back to him for a second chance.
Another offensive rebound. We talked about the Panthers average 13 offensive rebounds a game. They're up to 12 right now, but they just haven't been able to put them in the second chance points. And Bub Carrington still without a field goal in this game, so another missed opportunity off offensive rebound.
You're talking about a guy's very important scoring wise for Pitt. I know he's only a freshman, but 14 points a game.
Obi, he's the only freshman in the country averaging 14 or more points per game, 5 or more rebounds, and 4.5 plus assists. That's how important he is.
Up in the lane. That won't drop. The 7-footer gets his hands on it. Approaching the 10-minute mark here at the Pitt, which is pretty darn quiet at the moment. They haven't given a lot of reason, but that'll go down on a tough move there by Lowe.
And that's really been the only success over the last few minutes for the Panthers is Lowe getting into the painted area and making a play. He's in double figures now, 4 of 8 from the field.
Williams, yes, sir. That's a triple.
Jeff Capel said that he was going to look at me when Benny Williams made a 3. Because Benny Williams plays great. I glance across, I catch eye contact with Jeff Capel. Benny Williams has something against the Panthers. He plays great against them.
Knockdown jumper by Jeffress, the 6'7" junior, who started 16 games as a sophomore but missed all of last season to a foot injury. Syracuse has had answers all night long here at the Pitt. Starling to the baseline. Mintz had it stripped and draws the foul.
Smart play by Judah Mintz, not waiting.
So 9:23 to go. Syracuse by 14 over Pitt. Knock back the Pitt Panthers. 8 different men have scored for Syracuse.
And on their home floor, Obi, the Panthers have struggled to shoot the basketball. It's perplexing to Jeff Capel as to why this has been the case. But if you think about the North Carolina game, the Duke game, and now this one against Syracuse, they are combined 19 of 76 from beyond the three-point arc. This is a team that averages 9.6 made three-point field goals a game. So they're at the top of the ACC in number of threes made per game, but they just have not been able to get it going on their home floor. In their one ACC win, they made 12 threes at Louisville. So that's the interesting part where Jeff Capel just can't figure out how they're not shooting the basketball at home.
Malik Brown back on for Red Autry, and Syracuse Mintz with another one coming. And Coach Capel talked about he wanted to see his team be more tough offensively in this game. Looking for shots, hitting shots, just hasn't happened yet.
It has not happened yet. And also they only have 8 assists to go along with 7 turnovers, where Syracuse, who averages close to 13 turnovers a game, only has 6 to go along with their 12 assists.
Jaland Lowe, the freshman, he's had a solid night.
He absolutely has. He's put together a good game thus far. Just hasn't been able to get much help from the guys in Carrington and Hinson that Pittsburgh needs to be scorers.
Williams on Hinson. That's a nice looking shot. And that makes it 58-42. Williams with 7 points, 3 for 3. Hinson going in strong. Count that. He'll be at the line.
And maybe that's the answer. Get Hinson on the block. Allow him to be the post presence for the Panthers. When you've got both of the Diaz grandbrothers on the floor, both can shoot it from beyond the three-point arc, which gives Blake Hinson the opportunity to be able to post. And you see Blake Hinson 4 of 15 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3. Jeff Capel at his wits' end, trying to find a way to get his star going, who's the 4th leading scorer in the ACC.
3-point play for Blake. They need a lot more of that over these last 8.5 minutes from him. Mintz swooping in against the 7-footers. Both Guillermo and Jorge, as mentioned, on the floor for the same time for the Pitt Panthers. And a tie-up. And so Syracuse will have it on a possession arrow.
And these are Jorge's first minutes in the game. Was looking forward to getting a 3 in transition on that possession, but give the Orange credit for getting out and covering, not allowing him to have the open look, forcing the turnover.
Syracuse working around the perimeter, shot clock to 10. J.J. Starling Starling with a spin. Yes, sir.
And now Syracuse is just starting to make tough shots. J.J. Starling going off the bounce. We saw Benny Williams do it on an earlier possession. And the Orange are feeling confident about their offense here in the Pitt.
Oakland went for the steal. It's knocked out of play by Syracuse, so the Panthers will have it when we come back.
Benny Williams has 32 points in conference play. 22 of them have come against the Panthers. He likes playing against Pitt. J.J. Starling getting in his bag off the bounce, the turnaround jumper, everything going from the field to go along with 2 rebounds. And J.J. Starling has done the job. He's been one of the many Orange that have been successful here tonight.
Syracuse with 3 men in low double figures. He's got 11. Mintz has 11 and Chris Bell 10. But Syracuse spreading around the scoring. Rebound tipped out of the hands of Jorge Diaz-Graham with 7:25 left. There have been a lot of games kind of like this between these two schools. Certainly were in the heyday of the Big East when Pitt Syracuse went toe-to-toe. Low scoring games, but very exciting finishes in a lot of them. Lowe with a bounce feed. That one's off the side of the backboard. Jorge, known to be the shooter of the two. And going to be a timeout here for Syracuse as Mintz will get one with 7:06 to go. So we'll be back in 30. Syracuse on top 60-45.
It's your igniter. We'll help get that fixed. Then your oven issues, done.
The best part about opening front door is the video to get these two done, yeah. Video, chatting like crazy. Experts on shirts.
Man, an app to fix my oven.
Yep, an app to fix your oven. That's correct.
Introducing Front Door. Download today to video chat an expert.
Hey, coming up next, we'll take you to Gallagher-Iba Arena in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Hunter Dickinson and number 3 Kansas taking on Oklahoma State in the Big 12. That is right after this one is finished. Lowe racing and laying it up and in.
Jaland Lowe's putting together a strong performance here. Obi, he's the only offense really for the Panthers here in this second half. 14 points for him. Coming into the game, averaging 5.4, has been his starting lineup for the last 3.
Yeah, this is a career high for him. They needed 2 or 3 more tonight. Let's see if they have run out of time. Still 6.5 to go. On the drive, Lowe again, and takes the foul. He'll be at the stripe.
Well, we talked about Marlon Lowe, Jalen's dad, showing up for the game today. A 4-hour delay out of Houston, trying to get here, came directly to the arena from the airport to see his son play. And Jaland has rewarded Pops with a strong performance right here, and now the opportunity with a career high to make it a 10-point game. And he's been the reason why the Panthers have been able to stay within striking distance.
I would say the only reason. Coach's son, both of his high school and AAU teams, and he comports himself that way.
He absolutely does. And you're talking about a high IQ young man, especially basketball IQ on the floor. You see how much trust Jeff Capel has in him as a freshman.
Mintz off for Williams. There's a 3 coming. Left that short. Rebounded away. Williams came right back and got that. Malik Brown inside to grab the loose ball. Shot clock down to 8. Mintz tiptoeing through. Benny Williams. And a whistle. That was with 3.9 on the shot clock. And that will go against Guillermo Diaz-Graham, number 4.
Jeff Capel, understanding how big of a possession that was dejected by the offensive rebound and once again by the foul with 3 seconds on the shot clock, but remains positive, understanding that his team has put themselves back in position to be able to come back in this game.
Of course, it resets to 20. Mintz in close, no. Gets the loose ball. He'll swing here for Starling, and he'll back it away.
Another offensive rebound. The Panthers have now had to be on this end of the floor for over a minute defensively.
5 to shoot for the Orange. Starling with a pull-up pop and hits another one. Pure confidence.
It absolutely is, especially in his mid-range. You see he picks a spot on the floor, he gets there and raises up over top of defenders and knocks it down with confidence.
Syracuse has had an answer every step of the way. Lowe again, can't hit it. So Mintz will take his time and run a little more clock, with Syracuse up by a dozen on the road. Got it free to Copeland. A whirling dervish. No! Left it short. Carrington to push the tempo. Carrington fumbles it, and a tie-up. Possession arrow will keep it right here for Pitt. 4:21 to go. And another big coming on, the 6'11" Federico for Pitt. You notice here at a critical stage of the game how rarely we are talking about Blake Hinson. 18 points a game for Pitt, but not much of a factor at all tonight.
As well as Bub Carrington, 14 points per game and scoreless tonight.
So again with the kick shot on the way, and that'll be inspired by Austin. 4 minutes to go. Pitt getting some looks, but can't cash in. Mintz threw it away. Lowe, here he comes, and he hits it and got fouled as well. Tremendous body command there to make the shot. With 3:43 to go, so Pitt's still in it because of him.
Yeah, Jaland Lowe keeping the Panthers in it off the turnover, turning defense into offense, the steal, the finish, the foul, and we've got a 10-point game. It can be less when we return. I've been able to, benefit off of the offensive rebounding. 14 offensive rebounds in this game. They've only turned into 10 second chance points. However, they'll have an opportunity now at the free throw line for Lowe to have the 16th point off of 8 Syracuse turnovers. So that is one area where the Panthers have been able to exploit the Orange in this game.
Lowe looking for his 20th point tonight. Previously his high was 12 against Florida Gulf Coast. Out of Missouri City, Texas. And connects. So give him 20 and they're inside 10.
You'll see different pressure from the Panthers now after Jeff Capel had the chance in the timeout. And I'll take my chances with Benny Williams having to handle the basketball versus Jaland Lowe.
Got it across for Starling. Syracuse has been very patient, quite conservative here in the second half with the basketball. Here's Quadir Copeland. Shot clock down to 2. Mintz, and he's fouled on the play. What a bailout with 0.9 on the shot clock. It's the second time in the game that Pitt has committed a highly ill-advised foul.
And Judah Mintz with less than 4 on the shot clock goes, and it's actually William Jefferson who gets in and gets a hand on his arm. But you see how late it is. That's one you want to make it difficult for Mintz to get that shot off at the end of the shot clock.
He sinks number 1. He's 79% at the line. Back up to 10.
And you send one of ACC's best to the free throw line to make it a double-digit lead once again. We've talked multiple times about how often Judah Mintz gets to the free throw line. And he is 5 of 5 on the night thus far. And as this game goes down the wire, he'll have the ball in his hands. We can see him there much more.
Syracuse leading 64-53. Judah with 13, also 9 rebounds in the game.
He's done more than score in this game, and give him credit for playing a very good floor game and defensively as well.
Hinson that barely got to the iron, just has not been his night. He's into double figures. He's had some rebounds, but he needed a much bigger evening.
But oftentimes you see Blake Hinson take those 4 shots. Again, it's okay for him to shoot the 3, but if that one's not there, swing and see if you can get something else. You can't make it all up at once.
Mintz again. Guillermo Diaz-Graham out to guard him, and that one's going to be thrown away with 2:37 left.
Copeland just tapping his chest saying that's my fault. Mintz drops the dime off. Copeland just unable to corral that one. That would have been a dunk normally if he gets his hands on the basketball. And Judah Mintz, of course, as all point guards, hating turnovers, so immediately just jumping up and down, cringing as he sees that go out of bounds.
Low turnover game, though. Only 8 for Pitt, 9 for Syracuse to this point in the game. 2.5 minutes to go, and on cue, here's one. Starling on the attack, draws the foul as he's hit by Carrington with 2:27 to go.
And really just unforced. But it goes back to Jeff Capel told us pregame, Malik Brown is one of the best of getting his hands on the basketball. So good that he is actually tied with his teammate Judah Mintz at 2.19 for the lead in the ACC for steals.
It's uncanny, you know, how many deflections he gets.
Yeah. And again, it's something that you know when you see the numbers, you're like, okay, the guy is great with his anticipation, with his hands, because he's leading the ACC in steals. But Jeff Capel made sure to bring it up to us. They actually had to run different offense in the first game to keep the basketball from getting in the 5-man's hands because Malik Brown is so good at knocking it away.
Lowe working on a 20-point game. Can't spin that one in. One and done. Back over to the Orange. 65-53. Mintz will be tied up, and he'll be held by Jeffress. He commits the personal with 2:04 to go. And that'll be number 1 on him. So Mintz back to his favorite spot. He had a good game individually against North Carolina. It didn't go highly noticed. He had 21 points. That's because Carolina ran away and hid and won by 36 points on Saturday.
The largest loss for Syracuse since entering the ACC 10 seasons ago. But it's been a great response from the Orange here tonight on the road.
Mintz finally missing one. He's 7 for 8. Here's Lowe way downtown, too strong. But getting back into a game when you're down by 3, not necessarily a forte of the Pitt Panthers, is it?
No, it really is not. And again, when you're shooting the basketball this poorly from beyond the 3-point arc, now 5 of 24 from beyond the arc. 3rd straight game where the Panthers have struggled to shoot the 3 here on their home floor.
Carrington, the talented freshman, tough night, 0 for 10 shooting overall. And Syracuse just putting this ball game away. Starling from the corner.
And Starling has been big for the Orange in this game, coming out on the road and looking like the Orange will get Adrian Autry's first ACC road win of the season.
Federico backing in, and on the line, we'll turn it over. Syracuse with their biggest lead tonight.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say of the season, of his career. This will be his first ACC road win of his career, and Adrian Autry off to a really good start. Difficult to replace a legend, of course, but Red is doing a great job thus far this year. Syracuse most likely moves on to 12-5 overall, evening out their ACC record at 3-3 in a big game coming up with the Miami Hurricanes coming to the Dome this Saturday.
Just feels like it comes at a very important spot for Syracuse.
It absolutely does. Just that again, after that loss at North Carolina and on a short turnaround, Saturday to Tuesday, Coach Autry able to get his team regrouped and coming back in with that competitive fire here on the road tonight.
Kansas and Oklahoma State are coming up from Stillwater. A whistle here and the points at 39.4 to play. So more college basketball coming up here on ESPN tonight. Syracuse has been putting this game on ice here in the final stages of the second half. Federico, 6'11" junior from Helsinki, Finland, will complete a 3-point play, but not enough of that for the Pitt Panthers here tonight.
And this is a game that got to 8 points in the second half. Pitt got the lead down to 8, had some momentum on their side here on their home floor, but just unable to make the plays, especially on the defensive end, to be able to get back and get any closer in this game.
So Syracuse to pick up their 3rd win in the ACC and improve to 3-3 in the conference and 12-5 overall as they come to Pittsburgh, which has seen so many battles between these two schools. A slam dunk by Federico, a little too late for Pittsburgh, and Syracuse gets a big win in their season. 69-58 will be the final score, and a win for Red Autry on the road, his first quad 1 win this season.
Strong response from the Orange after a